What's up, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I am your host, James Nguyen, creator of Alpha Red. Welcome to the Saturday afternoon draw stream. I am very grateful that you are spending an hour with me on Mother's Day weekend. I hope that you did your moms and your wives right by getting them a nice big gift, and that you are celebrating them, and then you are making them feel special this weekend. That's why I'm doing a Saturday stream instead of a Sunday stream. I want to do on a regular basis a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening draw stream, but tomorrow, Mother's Day, I got to be a good boy and cook dinner and give her all kinds of gifts and all kinds of pamper her and show her appreciation for all that she does for me and the kids. And got to remember to call my mom. I don't always call my mom on Mother's Day because I'm too busy celebrating my wife and doing nice things for her. But let me see if nope, okay, not missing anybody yet. So I appreciate you showing up whenever you show up, whenever you pull this up. And I'm going to jump into it as fast as I can so that I have the maximum amount of time to take on the draw, this here. Let me see if I can do this technology right. Ooh, am I doing it right? All right. This guy right here is what we're going to be working on. It's a nice empty thing, and without further ado, I am gonna bring this bad boy up out from underneath the table. I won't make you watch me do it. Hopefully to you it's like magic, and then we get right into light source. Oh, is that gonna slip off? Yes, that's gonna slip off. No good. No mas. All right. How about that? Is that stable? All right. It feels stable. Got the microphone. Let's get it situated right here. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys here. Appreciate you being here. And hopefully you will let me know if you are having audio problems. So any audio problems you have, just put it in the chat for me, because I am not listening to myself. Let me see if I can listen to myself. Can I listen to myself? I don't know what it gives me. I don't know if it gives me live. I do hear the music, so that's a good thing. I'm just gonna keep the earbuds in and see how things work out. All right, so we're going to talk about what makes a good cover, and we'll use my covers as an example of good and bad. What's in a good cover? What's in a bad cover? This is the cover to Alpha Red number 1. It's been through a couple iterations, but for the most part, in my mind, there are two things. There's a one primary thing that you have to do, and that is to make sure that the main thing is the main thing. And oh boy, I got my wires all tangled up here. Give me a second, guys. Would not have been good. It's a tangled web of wires back here. So if only you could see behind the scenes. It's just a mess. But the number one important thing that you will want in any cover is to make the main thing the main thing. And sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. I don't know how much I was thinking of it when I was drawing this particular cover. This is the latest cover, hopefully the final version, the final cover for all time, like the normal A cover for all time. I might make special covers for special things down the road for issue number 1, like this sketch cover, or an anniversary thing or something like that, or for a crowdfunder specific. But when you're making a cover, you want to keep the main thing, and Alpha Red has to be front and center. I did muddy the waters a little bit with all the other characters. I see that let me see if I can get this light to be less abrasive. Can I lower the light? Will that help? Will you guys be able to see it then? Is that too dark? Too dark in my opinion. Bad part about these glossy things, huh? But like the eye has a lot to focus on, and the colorist did a good job of pushing everything to the back by making it more of a reddish pinkish color, except for Satan. He kind of jumps out of the background because he's a huge part of the storyline. But that was a semi-successful cover. I think this is also a successful cover because you see him and he's doing something actiony. You wonder where he's coming from, where he's going to. So I think that's a successful cover. This one is one of my favorite covers. It's just obviously Alpha Red front and center. Something, he's smashing through a rock wall coming at you. So that's something that we strive to achieve when we are doing covers. This is really the introduction to Omega Black. So I did want to make him front and center. I did keep Alpha Red on the cover, but the main focus of this was the big reveal happened at the end of issue number 3. It was at least teased at the end of number 3, and this in number 4 was the big reveal, who was Satan and who was piloting Omega Black. And then the final cover here for issue number 5 again has Alpha Red front and center. So that is and there's not too much distraction, I don't think. I like how this turned out with the other characters who play a huge part in the final issue. So, but that is something that we're gonna try to maintain in this, in what we're gonna do today. As far as keeping Alpha Red the main thing, right? And I want to maintain the energy too of the last few sketch covers that I've been working on. This is a commission that I'm working on. Let me hit this one button here because it's distracting me. There it is. But that's Magneto. Hopefully that's obvious. But you see how he's front and center. He's doing some. There's lots of energy. That's what I'm going for. This will be another draw stream. One of the influences of Alpha Red, as far as his story and kind of the feel of the Alpha Red storyline is that character. Got your Spider-Man. So I'm gonna keep it in the vein of this format where just mainly his bust. Well, not just his bust, but the whole upper body. Sorry about that. But we'll keep it, we'll keep the figure masculine and super heroic. Cyclops, also one of the major influences. Captain America will obviously be is also a major influence. That's really his power set, is his strength and his speed and smartness. Smartness, is that a characteristic? His smartness. So we're gonna just try to jump right in, and don't feel like you're stuck as soon as you start laying something down. That's why God created erasers, right? So we're gonna see what works, what will give us the good alpha red energy here. Give him, hopefully you can see this. This is intentionally a light pencil. It's a harder lead, I believe. Yep, this is a 4H. I don't typically even do a 4H usually. But for a superhero, you want broad shoulders. You want this V-shaped physique that they don't talk about as much anymore. I don't hear V-shaped physique for the man. But we definitely want that shape because that is what we see as heroic. At least that's what I see as heroic. And I believe that is what other people like as well. We want our heroes bigger and stronger than us, and we want them to be ideal in their physique. There's a reason why they're heroes, and there are reasons why we need a superhero, and we can't just have a regular hero like a police officer or a soldier or something like that to take care of the villain. Our stories should be filled with stories that are bigger than our normal everyday heroes. Now, we have everyday heroes. We're talking about Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day. I hope you're treating your moms right and your kids right. Jose, what's going on, brother? I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you for spending some time with me. I appreciate you and your encouragement. I see you out there hustling, doing some stuff for Grok. Good looking stuff, man. I love how you color. I love the energy of your stuff. So keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. I don't know why your stuff doesn't pop up in my feed. I have to go look for your stuff. So I don't know if that's a setting that I can correct. I'll have to go into my Facebook and correct that. The Mother's Day draw off. Yeah. No, this is why I'm doing it today, not tomorrow. I want to make it a regular thing on a Sunday that I do a draw stream. All right. This is just going to be your basic hands on the hips. Don't mess with me kind of pose. My eraser, I thought I saw it. Yeah, I'm going to try the kneaded eraser on this. I go back and forth. I don't know about you, Jose, but I go back and forth between your kneaded eraser versus just the white eraser. The white eraser obviously makes little flecks all over the place, and I don't always clean very well here at my working table, so I don't want to make a mess. So gotta keep his head proportionate, heroically proportionate. There are a lot of artists out there that I like, and they draw so well, but they make their heads like just normal proportion, as if they're drawing just a really fit person, instead of like a superhero, comic book superhero, where the head is slightly smaller. I don't know, I think about Mark Brooks is one of the guys I wish would draw his heads just a little bit smaller, so that his men could look more heroic. His women are beautiful, and they're proportionate. They're superhero proportionate, but for whatever reason, he does not go overboard with his heads. Yeah, I hear you. I do too. I guess it just depends on what we want at the time. Yep. Yeah. So we'll go with the kneaded eraser. I finally broke out a new kneaded eraser. I've been using the same old kneaded eraser, and it was like a rock. And no matter how much I kneaded it, it would just not seem like it wanted to budge. So after watching a draw stream, comic book radio draw stream with Pete Zametti, he was talking about erasers, and he was like, they do die. Kneaded erasers do die, and you need to open a new one. And so it encouraged me to, because I do have more. I do, and this is not my only one. I'm just so frugal. Let me see. Yeah, but proportions, I agree. Don't be scared to break the rules. Yep. Make it heroic, man. Like, don't be afraid to exaggerate. Like, we know people can't fly. We know that people can't lift buildings and trucks and all that stuff. So how about we just make everybody ideally heroic? These are the Greek gods of current culture. So let's not make them. Don't bring them down to us. Don't bring them down to our level. Make them a spectacle. I needed one of Dave Finch's favorite tools. Yep, Dave Finch is so awesome. His YouTube channel. I hope you're watching his YouTube channel. I don't always go to it. I know that he does it very often, and he's not one of my go-to guys as far as YouTube time. But when I feel like uninspired, I definitely go to his page and catch a tutorial on like his lines of beauty. I love when he talks about that, and I go, yeah, I forgot about that. And then you go back to the lines of beauty, and you go, all right, that's what I was missing. A little gesture drawing. Sometimes I just, things get so stiff because I didn't start off right. So I am gonna try to draw this guy as fast as I can so that I can get farther into the drawing, because I want to honor what my wife has asked for, just an hour when I'm doing these, because it ends up butting up. Even if she doesn't need me right away, I end up doing other things, or I end up staying up here a little too long in my office, and so I'm gonna keep it to an hour. But I also want to go through like a whole picture, because I know that I can. I know that when I'm sitting there and I'm just drawing, I can go through one of these sketch covers in an hour, and it can look pretty good. Like, it can look pretty finished. Alright, so I hate that it's going off the page, but he's so heroic. This cover cannot contain him. What do you think? He cannot be contained by this cover. So what are you currently working on, Jose? Are you working on a project, or are you just you're sketching, you're staying inspired by your fellow Christian creators? Are you working? What was that graffiti book? Remind me about that graffiti book that I saw on your page. Are you drawing with me? Make his thumb go here. His thumb can go over here. All right. All right, we're almost ready for the darker pencil, and then I'm going to go in with gray markers and going to go in with some gray markers and build some of that gray tone, bring some depth to it in a way that I have not done yet, I don't think. Oh, I did the Captain America commission, and I added some gray tones, but not in the way that, not from scratch like I'm doing with him today here with Alpha Red. See, I finished up the entry for the Liefeld draw-off. Nice. I didn't. So who's the new character? I was in Tennessee for the last one. Was it the two characters? Yeah, finishing up issue 2 of. I'm trying to read what you wrote, but like the thing. Oh, okay, of Kung Fu Graph. Okay, yeah, kind of starting to get a little inspired. I'm glad, bro. This is why I do it. Just to, we need more good Christian artists out there drawing good stuff. So if I can inspire you to be creating, I am doing my job. All right, so that is the lighter pencil. I'm gonna jump in with a handy dandy number 2. The old handy dandy. Let's see here. And just kind of, like I said, the super light one, the harder lead, is for composition, making sure everything fits in, even though he kind of spilled out. He spilled out in an acceptable way. And I have given myself, and I have justified for myself that it's okay that he spilled out. Now I'm gonna go in and get the details of the costume just right, so that whoever owns this in the future will have a Alpha Red drawn by me that is correctly drawn and not have bad costume inconsistencies. So if you're getting it from the creator, you should know his creation, just like God knows us, right? He knows us as his creations. Every hair on her head, I can at least know what Alpha Red's costume looks like. So we've got to make sure all that fits in. The Stone and Merlin. Yep. Yeah. So I did see those as the next Liefeld thing, but coming off of vacation and coming off of the convention, the homeschool convention, I am so behind on work. I'm trying to squeeze everything in. Plus for work, I had to travel twice this week, and it couldn't have been a worse week to try to squeeze in some time out of the office, sitting in a car for hours, getting from one appointment to another. And so I am still behind. I was doing work right up until I was setting up for this draw stream, just because I knew that I wasn't going to have time to do the draw stream tomorrow, and I didn't want to miss a day or a week. I did do an exclusive draw stream that hopefully somebody will find if they become a member of my Patreon at the $13 level. So you get the exclusive link. I still do it here on YouTube. But it's a private link that I will be sending out to any members that are $13 a month or more. So if you are interested in supporting future issues of Alpha Red, that is one way that you can. That is definitely going to help me out. I'm going to start having them colored, the pages colored as I draw them, so that I am not waiting for the colors at the end, or it's not going to be a part of the crowdfunding. So Jose, have you ever crowdfunded a comic? It is not for the faint of heart. It is not. I am working on a crowdfunding video, and the reason why I have not finished it and posted it is because there's so much to the process, and I have to organize it. I have to figure out how to organize it in a way that is not overwhelming, because it's overwhelming me. It overwhelms me every time, as many times as I've done it, and I've done it 5 times. Was it 5? Yeah, 5 times. It's a lot of work, and you want to treat your backers well, because I appreciate my backers, and I want them to get something special. And so, but at the same time, I'm juggling a budget and real life. So I'm typing kind of fast today. Too much coffee. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I should have had some coffee. Actually, closed my eyes for a little bit right after lunch, because there's been some drama in the house. Everybody's doing fine, but there's some personal drama with my son's business, and it's kind of spilling into our real life, his mother and I, and so it's kind of stressful. So we were up later than we wanted to be, after a couple of days of being up later than we wanted to be, trying to catch up on life at home as opposed to life in Tennessee. Fake life on vacation. All right, let's see. How are we doing on time? Yikes, it's almost a half an hour. All right, I don't want to rush it either, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go in with the grays. We're gonna go in with the grays and then go in with the inks and see if that is a better way to apply the gray tones, Because sometimes when I do the inks and then put on the gray tones, it smears the ink for one, sometimes. And then sometimes it like drowns out the inks. It makes them grayish or whatever. It tones them down, and the inks lose their pop. So I'm going to try to lay down the pencils here, and hopefully the pencils can guide me as I'm putting in the grays, and then we can go back and work on the inks. That's what we're gonna do. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Is it just you in here, Jose? All right. So we are gonna see, all this is just kind of, I don't know, it feels second nature anymore, because I like his costume so much, and I'm very familiar with his costume, that a lot of this can be just kind of short-handed in, and then I can tighten it up. I know that there's a little thing right there, and then there's how it attaches to the belt right there on the other side, and then you just kind of keep it balanced, and then do a couple of strands. It's not just a straight smooth belt. There's these dots, which I'm gonna play into here in the near future, what those dots can do as part of his suit, because he's got more gadgets. He definitely has more gadgets than he has used in the first origin storyline. Sings with my sons too, also. Oh, crowdfunding. Okay, hang on a second. Crowdfunding and even publishing is a whole other level. I hear you, and that is one that I am getting ready for little by little. Yep, sing with my sons too, also. Okay, yeah, drama, right? And you gotta do it. You gotta be with your, you gotta support your kids, help them navigate all these problems, no matter how much you warn them. Like, hey, that doesn't sound like a good idea. And then they do whatever they want. And then they go, hey, this person's stealing from me. Yeah, we told you. We told you it might be a bad decision to hire that guy. All right. Is that gonna do it? Let me see. I'm gonna look at it. So his head looks like it's kind of squished. I don't like that his head is kind of squished down here. Let me see if I can bring his head up a little bit. I don't like doing that after the fact, because I like to do the head first. I thought I had it going. But I pushed it up and then I pulled it back down and it didn't work. So his chin's got to be just a little bit higher. And let's see. The light is throwing me off too, so it kind of glares. So keep that heroic proportion to his head. Bring his ear muff things up. Bring his eyeballs up here. This cool guy sunglasses. Gotta be higher. His ears gotta come up higher. Hairline up higher. Yeah. So how many kids do you have, Jose? I got 2 sons and a daughter. And they are such a blessing. They don't always listen, but I didn't always listen either. So I cannot say that I was any less of a handful than my kids. So I have a video coming out this Wednesday. So keep your eye out for that. This Wednesday at noon. I'm putting it together right now. And I'm going to summarize the experience down in Tennessee, and also give you a breakdown of the numbers. How much it cost me to go down, how much I made, how many I sold, and so keep that on your radar. I'm going to make it a premiere. Initially, I wanted to be putting out one video on independent comic book creation every Wednesday. And not that I don't have anything to say, but man, it's hard to juggle real life with editing videos and getting used to kind of collecting my thoughts in a way that can be presented well. So instead of putting out stuff that I don't think looks or feels ready to put out, I decided to not put things out until they've cooked a little bit. Like the script writing, I have a script writing video that I'm working on. I've gotten a lot of questions about the writing part of comics, and I definitely want to address how I handle things and how I have experienced working with other writers and all those experiences. Man, a father's job is never done. Truer words have never been said, sir. Truer words have never been said. But yeah, that's what we're called to do. And I hate hearing these parents who just kind of let their kids like kind of just throw them out to the wind, like, well, they'll learn, or just expect schools or even churches to teach them what the parents' job is to do. And it's a little frustrating, even amongst my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. Just expecting that Sunday schools are gonna be enough for their kids. Now we're talking. All right. I think we're ready to jump in with some gray tones. What do you think? So I have in my bag of tricks here with these gray tones. I don't have every tone. So I have a 1, a 3, a 5, 7, and 9, I think, as far as percentage. This is Copic, so they use the 1 for a 10% gray. So I want to lay this in here as kind of a base for his skin here. want to show that he has a bit of a forehead here. And then, hang on a second here. 2 sons. There you go. Yeah, I got my daughter's the oldest, and she's an angel. I just love her to death. She has moved out. She's got a job about an hour and 40 minutes away from us. And she just loves her job and who she's working with. And so she doesn't come home much. I mean, we're happy for her, but come on now. Come on home. Visit mommy and daddy. The FaceTiming is good, but we like to see you too. We like to spend time. So I'm throwing in the shadows of anywhere where it's going to be like silver. So the white of the page is what I'm going to lean on as far as the highlights, and the more shiny areas, like the skin tone and the silver, the shiny metal parts of his costume. And you want to make sure that you're casting shadows from all that other stuff too, like his fingers cast shadows there. And I get underneath here and try to keep a smooth line instead of doing what I did there with the sketchy sketch. I think people can see that in your artwork, and it translates as a little bit more hesitant, and hesitancy can feel like amateurish, like you're not confident in your lines, so you like sketch it. You sketch the lines in. I better sketch this line in before I forget, like I did the last time with his outfit. There's another layer to this, and I don't want to forget. So there be the silver parts. Well, I appreciate that, Jose. I'm glad that these videos help you. Just kind of thinks, it just takes a little bit of, hey, this is kind of what I'm considering while I'm doing this. And so you know why I'm doing it, and not just that I'm doing it. And that makes all the difference. Not all the difference, but it makes a big difference when you understand what the artist is trying to do. So like when I put in this line here, it's a line, it's like a horizon line that he's looking at across the room. Like this is the room. And then it'll be, depending on the light in the room, the light will be brighter up top above the lens, and down here will be darker. And I don't know if I want to do darkness down here, maybe start it, and it just is what it is, and just be unapologetic about the decision you made. Actually, I'm gonna, as I'm in here, the highlights for the other parts of his body and stuff are going to be not white, so they're going to be the lightest that I can make it. Like, so the edge of his hair, which will be light and bright, will have this very lightest light also. And then kind of draw it in like that. And then when I come in with the darker tones, the whiteness there will pop out, and the brown hair will be kind of brown. So the light I want to come from the top. So So all of these areas up here, which are not a bright color, will be highlighted with the lightest color, the lightest shade of gray that I used. And so you gotta get the inside of his arm because that light is gonna hit the top of there. And then this will probably be darker, but just in case I make a decision later, it doesn't hurt because his outfit is black down there. So the top of his pectorals will also be bright, and the tops of his shoulders are going to have some form here eventually. And then maybe like one of those neck vein things that all of our superheroes have will be like that. And his stomach muscles will have highlights. We'll keep those light but not white. And maybe even like his rib cage, top of his rib cage a little bit. We'll have that. And in here will definitely be some ribs that will have some highlight, and we'll darken parts of it in later. But all right. So it looks like the shadows, the light is coming from the bottom because all of this is untoned, but we're going to add all those tones, and that's going to make the light come from the top. Hopefully. Hopefully. That's the plan. That's the plan. All right. And then, so that was the 1. And then we'll go next to the 3. And I picked up different, I have picked these pens up at different times in my life. So they're not all the same size or the same style. Even though this one's Copic and the last one was Copic. All right, I gotta kind of be careful right around here because I'm trying to separate parts of the costume without having the inks. So it's almost like inking. And so since his mask is red, this is going to be at least a darker color than the silver parts that I put down for the costume and the skin tone, which are the lightest gray, and using the white of the paper to use as a highlight. So the more times you go over it, the more the color soaks in to the paper. So you can use that also as another shade. And then hopefully when I come back in with the colors, actually, you know what? I think his belt buckle and all of his belting is going to be a lighter color too. So we'll just make sure to use this lightest gray on there so that we're reminded that that is a lighter color. Go in here for this belt down here too. It's just going to be a solid color of something. I remembered that as I was going to make everything else dark here. So we're going to go down shoulders here. Then I'll even keep a line like white in here to make it look even shinier. Like there's a shine between the color of his shoulder, which is red, and then the highlight, and then a really bright highlight that's so highlighted it's white. So we'll do that. And then we'll do that to kind of show the form in his bicep there too. And then we'll keep it there. And then we're gonna. Well, I should have filled up on the colors before I started this one. Let's see how much darker or lighter. Okay, so this is also 30% or the 3 in Copic. So I initially bought into Prismacolor markers when Prismacolor was the only game in town, was the top game in town. And so I have boxes of these Prismacolor markers, and then Copic comes around and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I gotta transfer everything over. I just don't have the money for it. Well, Copic has some great refills, and so I found the closest things to Prismacolor colors, and I just bought the refills, and I did exactly what I would have done if they were Copic markers. Just kind of pop the things out, the nibs out, and poured the refills in, and now I have more markers. They're the same ink or whatever, same color on the inside. So, but it's a pain because you have to, if you only have one marker, one dispenser of the color, it becomes a pain when you run out. So I'm happy to use my old Prisma set and just keep a bunch of them filled up here so that I can not stop, so that I don't have to stop. And because it's a hand-colored marker thing, like when I apply the color, I am thinking about the form of the muscle, the striations of the muscle, so that you're moving in that direction instead of going up and down. And as the colors go in and out of being absorbed by the paper, it creates its own kind of texture or direction. And so I know that if you work digitally, you don't have to think about it too much. And you're just thinking if you want to artificially create those textures or those directions. But as far as doing it by hand, you have to be conscientious of certain aspects when you're using your colors. I hope I remember that. I hope I remember this is the cut of the muscle there. We shall see. We shall see when I get there, huh? And I'm going to be going through this again and using this number 3 or 30% cool gray as a highlight for the next darker color, which will be the black from the sides of his suit. Let me know if how the sound is. It sounds good in my ears here, as far as my voice versus the music. But I have seen where I go back and watch the live video, and I think everything is fine, and I can hardly hear myself. So if you are having problems hearing me, Jose, since you're here, if you can give me those cues, if those things are not working the way that is ideal. All right, so that is red. His gloves are also red. Oh, I forgot to go in with the highlighting and using the lightest color to highlight the tops of his gloves, which are red. Maybe his knuckles are red up here. So the top of his finger, top of his index finger, but everything starts to curl underneath the index finger there. So you don't see much highlight. Maybe there's a highlight underneath here for underlighting. Yeah, maybe there's some underlighting to his arms. It doesn't hurt because a darker color is going to come along and overtake it if I decide that I don't want like an inner glow to his biceps and triceps and forearm here. Oh, that's going to be black anyway. Ay, 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 ay. Oh boy, it is almost games that got to catch you. The next one. To catch you. The next one. All right, brother. Are you? Is that? Are you peacing out? If you are, I appreciate you being here for this portion of it. I think I might just continue because I am feeling the vibe. I'm feeling the flow on this, and I am gonna go for another half hour. Just to see how far I can get. I was hoping that I would get farther than this, but that just didn't happen. So this would be the highlight for this top bicep, and this would be the highlight for the forearm here on up. I don't know what all the muscles are called here, but they go up the arm here. I really want to get to the inks on this because I'm excited about the gray tones and how they're adding some depth to the picture. I forgot to come down here on these. Coming down here. Coming down here on this. Alright, and that's part of the costume, cuts over like this. And then this would be a highlight on the top of the bicep. That'll be part of his arm here. And this would be the undercoating here. Like the reflection using the black here. And that will bleed into there. I promise it's going to make sense. I promise. I hope so. I hope that I don't eat my words here. But yeah, you gotta follow like, the lines of the costuming or whatever. This can be the highlight of the top of that muscle, even though that'll be the middle of the muscle, but it'll be the top of that next color, which is black, which is a much like a dark gray. So, all right, we're gonna go in with 50%, the 50% or the 5. So what do I have here? I think this is the 50%. Yep, this is 50%. And this really should start helping things pop. At least I hope. Oop, I forgot to do the hair. Let's do his hair. Gotta hold my breath like I do with the inks. So excuse me as I hold my breath. It's not super duper important, I guess, at this point, because the inks will save me in some areas. This just kind of gives you the tones for it. All right, one more pass here with the 30% here, just to kind of create that that's a 30, that's a 3. That reflection in his glasses here. And this should be lighter down here to make it shiny shine. This is the number 5, and the number 5 will be kind of the base for all the parts that are black on his suit. And the black, the dark, super dark parts of the blackness of his suit will come from the inks. So I'm not too worried about covering all the parts of the outfit, especially in the parts that will be completely blacked out. So I'm going to be leaning a lot on the colors, these tones, to kind of remind me where the outfit begins and ends and stuff. So Jose, if you've left me, hopefully you came back and watched the rest of it here. But I am grateful that you came and hung out with me a little bit today on this Mother's Day weekend Saturday. Speaking of, I gotta get back to the wife here, see if she needs me very shortly. But I want to see what it looks like when I hit it with some colors, with some inks, I mean, not colors. I don't have enough markers for colors on a sketch cover. That's just, I don't charge enough to buy that much supplies, that many supplies. So, unfortunately, as much as I love seeing it, I watch these guys on Instagram, guys and girls. I don't want to say it, they're all guys, because I don't know. I assume they're guys though, because the hands, even girls with big hands, who knows? But the ones that I see anyway are using markers and stuff, and I'm just like, wow, a fully markered sketch cover. Very impressive. I don't know how much these people are paying for those. They're really works of art, for sure. So, I hope that you are enjoying the process here. Let me see, that's 5 minutes into, okay, that's not too bad. I'm getting there. This marker is losing it though, so we're gonna see if we can find a 5 that is has a little bit more juice to it. All right, here's another 5 because I've got quite a bit of space to. There we go. This guy's got some juice. I don't know how many ribs to show, but he's gonna have 3 or 4 right there, and that's it. That's it for this picture anyway. So yeah. So I am gonna have, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing and hit that like button if you would. That would be amazing. They tell me that helps algorithm stuff, and it pushes it out to more people, and more people get to see a sketch cover being drawn of Alpha Red, their new favorite superhero. It's got to be somebody's favorite superhero somewhere, right? I hope. I mean, he's been around for a little while, and I just made some new fans this week, and so I am so thankful for those opportunities, and I'm hoping that one of those people would say, Alpha Red, that's my favorite guy now, and I can't wait for Alpha Red number 6 to come out. And that would just be the biggest blessing to know that. So if you have picked up Alpha Red, please leave a comment. If you're not watching this live, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of Alpha Red. And I'm not done yet. I'll be done soon. Yeah. Mother's Day. Mother's Day's calling. I do want to do some quick inks just to kind of help it pop, so that you can see some of the payoff here. At least I hope it pays off. All right. And you can see where all those highlights that I did earlier pay off. Some of these things I need to ink upside down just to make sure that they're balanced, because I get blind spots as I look at it from the same angle all the time. So I won't notice if the one goggle is bigger than the other. So if you are interested in purchasing this sketch cover, I will be posting it on my Etsy page. If you go to Etsy, I have a store where you can buy original art, and you can simultaneously support the next issue of Alpha Red. Your name would then go into the thank you pages of Alpha Red number 6. Well, am I getting getting a message here. Nope, I thought that was my wife telling me to please stop. But that was not her. That was a work-related text. But you can see how these gray tones that I laid down first kind of make for a cooler picture here. At least in my humble opinion here. And I'm just, it's going to be, he's got like a bead it would be like a zipper thing, but when I created Alpha Red, the Avengers movies and things were kind of the hot thing. Let me turn this off here. Boom. All right. And I'll just finish the head, and then I'll call it quits, just to make sure that my wife is not needing me to help with dinner. Which sometimes I actually help with dinner. It's usually something on the grill, which I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. Something about fire and meat that I want to be a part of. I don't mind helping when there's meat to be grilled. And I was always told that the charcoal grilling was the way to go, and it is no doubt delicious. But man, is it not practical. Especially when you're hungry. You're like, I gotta wait a half an hour before I can even put it on. Half hour, 45 minutes, that's if I can get the thing started. But yeah. Again, I want to make sure that that dinner is not delayed because I'm on a draw stream. All right, what do you guys think? Is anybody still here? Check in with me. Help me out. Tell me I'm not alone. YouTube says there's at least one person out there. Say, hey, how you doing? Hey, you looking good. Looking good. And then what I would then do is go in with a thicker thing, thicker size micron, and go over just some of the outline and build out so that his head pops out a little bit from the details of the mask. So I do it in stages. I guess if you're an inker, you can you have the control to kind of go thin and thick with the lines at will. But I am not a professional. That's not my typical wheelhouse, even though I do ink my own stuff and I do prefer it. I know that inking is definitely its own talent and skill. And I've seen some very skilled people ink some of my stuff, but I've also had very bad experiences, and so I don't seek out inkers, mainly because I can't pay them, and especially what I can't pay them for the skill that they bring. All right, almost done here for this draw stream. I thank you for sticking around with me here. If you're catching it on the rerun, I appreciate that too. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and share this video if you feel like you want to help the Alpha Red channel grow, so that Alpha Red has more fans who will support more creation of Alpha Red. Alright guys, well, I appreciate you being here. I hope you dug this this portion of it. This will be available on the Etsy store, hopefully maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night. I'll finish this up, and then I have to finish page number 3, and so it's also Mother's Day weekend, so be kind to your mom, be kind to your wife. Thank you for hanging out with me. Check out jamesq.net if you could. It's back here. Let me hit this. I hear a vacuum going, so maybe she was just letting me know that she's going to vacuum. But jamesq.net. If you can head over to jamesq.net, that's my Patreon. I just started the Patreon page. There are 3 tiers. There's a free tier, but you can also support me. There's a $7 tier, a $13 tier, and a $63 tier. A $63 tier would get you this for free. If you sign up for the $63 tier, you get one of these every single month, and that includes shipping. So that's my commercial for the support that I need for Alpha Red number 6. You can get a free sketch every single week. It would be similar to this, gray tones. It doesn't have to be on an Alpha Red sketch cover. It can be just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Bristol board paper. I would mail it to you, but that's jamesq.net. Takes you to my Patreon, and I would greatly appreciate your support. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna hit the outro, and we'll catch you on the next draw stream. Grace and peace.